Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that is inspiring humanity and leadership within and beyond the workplace. It is so good to be with you all this week. Today, I have a great topic. I want to talk about something that occurred on my last episode. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, I interviewed Dr. Chakeshascott, and in that interview on part 2, she was talking about the trials that she was facing, all the challenges. And in that moment, I started reflecting back, and what I said was meant to be encouraging to her during that time, but it actually spoke to me as well. It was something that I needed to hear. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever said something to someone else and it was something that you needed to apply to your own life? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Greatness requires greater. Greatness requires greater. There's no other way around it. So let's get into it. Dr. Chakeshascott was really talking about her accomplishments and challenges with founding a school in Baker, Louisiana. With that responsibility, with that accomplishment, she has faced pushback, right? So she's going through legal battles and everything else. And in that moment, I said, greatness requires greater. Then I started thinking in my mind about everything that I have on my to-do list and everything that I may be facing or people I know that are facing. Greatness requires greater. When you are working on something, when you have goals and aspirations and you're pushing towards that goal, there are so many unexpected occurrences that happen that we're not prepared for, that, we may not be financially fit for, we may not be emotionally stable for. I mean, you just never know what's going to be thrown at you. But you know what? Greatness requires greater. All that we are trying to do is going to pull more out of us than we have planned on our to-do list. Yes, we can write down what the mission is and the steps to take it, but in between those lines and those check marks are challenges, are obstacles, and we have to weave that in there. We have to have a way of moving around it, of navigating it, of overcoming it, of learning how to avoid it in the future. And these are things that are not planned out. They're not in our timetable. It's not something that we have accounted the finances for, the emotional agility for, the time away from our family and friends. But that is what makes us great. That's what takes us to that next level. And so I was writing down things that, okay, if you're trying to achieve this is probably what you're going through. So if you're an athlete, you may be just dreaming about going pro. You are practicing, you are putting in the time, but once you get in there, there's injuries, there's team rules, there's curfews, there's time away from your family and friends. There's events that you may be missing. There's birthdays that you have to celebrate at another time if it's not already planned. There's a whole lot of traveling. You become a target, right? You have to learn how to be financially savvy. And that is just being regular. You have to put in more and on a higher level and a higher scale to be greater, to achieve that greatness. And that greatness is your skill. No one else can. I guess with sports, yes, you can. You can go by points on the board. You can go by home runs, but that's only one aspect. What about the person inside? Who are you becoming in that aspect? There's no way to count that. That's something that we have to measure individually. That is what our experiences are molding us for, to become greater. What about if you're a teacher? You've went to school, you've gotten your education, you want to teach these children, you love kids. And then you get in this role and you see how the status quo is. You see how you have to teach to the test. You see how the children are maybe unruly or they have larger needs than what you have the capacity to fill. You were thinking that you'd be, you have the summer off, but you're not thinking about all of the graded assignments that you have to complete during the school year. All of the parent-teacher conferences, all of the meetings that you have to have beyond those. Are you being accused of anything? How much does it cost to be a teacher? We already know that you have to put in money for supplies. Not everyone is bringing it. You run out halfway through the year. Not to mention your income isn't the highest as a teacher. You did it for the love of the kids. You did it because you're great at teaching and you want to be the solution. But it's going to cost you. That's why you need that summer off. And you know what? Some of these teachers can't even afford that time off. Yes, they may take their income and it is allocated throughout the summer. But some people need those additional funds. So they work during the summer for those additional funds. Imagine if you're at school with all of these children and then you have children of your own. Have you even thought about that? And I know teachers, yes, you have. But those that are non-teachers. Greatness requires greater. What about becoming a leader or a manager in an organization? Yes, you wanted it for maybe the title, hopefully not. But some people, yes, you want it for the title. You're looking to move up that corporate ladder. You are wanting more pay. You're wanting more responsibilities. You want to learn. Yes, but when you took that role, you didn't see how isolating it would be. You didn't see how there were cliques in that management structure. You didn't see how you wouldn't be able to say no as easy. Those boundaries between your team and yourself. Did you lose some relationships in between there? Did you create relationships that now have to be broken away as you move higher up the ladder? Do you have to lay anyone off? And sometimes these managers, they know some of their team's personal stories. They know that she's expecting. They know that they're going through a divorce right now. They know, and then they still have to turn around and these are the things that we have to go through that we're not thinking about at the moment. You have your own life. You have your own family. But you're being required to stay late or go to meetings. Greatness requires greater. It's about what we're doing, how we are overcoming. How are we pushing through? Do we need to take a break? Do we need to change paths? Do we need to rethink and remap how we're going to get there? And sometimes we feel like we've gone too far. We've come too far to turn back. I've put too much time and sweat and sweat equity and money and relationships into this goal. You've come too far to turn back. This is what greatness requires. I can't tell you verbatim how many hours Kobe, practiced basketball, but I know it was day in and day out when everyone else was sleeping. He got to the gym early. He stayed later. Greatness requires greater. There's people out here listening that are trying to write a book, and they need that quiet time. They have a story to tell. They are ready to inspire you, to help you through whatever you're going through that you can relate with them. But it requires quiet time. They have to isolate themselves from their family and their friends. They have to say no to your birthday parties, to your brunches, to your get-togethers, to your camping events. They can't do both. Then they have to market it. They have to network it. They have to think, is this okay? Am I sharing too much? What will my family think because they are a part of this book? Do I need to get their approval? How do I market it? How do I get it out? Am I enough? You see, we are all going through something. It may not be to the same extent. It may not be on the same playing field. But we are facing something that we are trying to overcome. Let's not talk about the entrepreneurs. And if I am speaking to you, hit the like button. Let me know that I'm reaching you. Let me know that this is speaking to you so that I continue. And let's talk about podcasters before I talk about entrepreneurs. There are many podcasters out here, or anyone in the media space, who are out here putting out content. Now, some people are putting out content based on what the audience wants. So depending on who they're listening to, what voice has piqued their interest, that's who they're catering to. Me, for example, I'm sharing my experiences. I'm doing the opposite. I'm sharing my experiences, and I'm trying to see, okay, who can relate? Can you relate? Is this touching a nerve? Is this part of your experience? Is this something you're going through? Someone you know is going through? Has it crossed your mind? Hit the like button. Comment. What goal are you trying to achieve? What is slowing down your progress? Don't let it stop you. As a podcaster, what did I put on here? You have to have tough skin. You have to go through and look at the comments and hear people talk about you if that's the case. You have to respond. You have to have the equipment. You have to have the time and the space. A lot of people are trying to find people to interview. There's a lot that goes into podcasting. Do you just quit because you're not getting the views that you expect? Or the followers, the subscribers? Are you stopping because there's no engagement? Or do you continue? I choose to continue because I am sharing my experiences and I know someone out there needs to hear it. You see, we're not going through these challenges and these obstacles just for our own sake. When we go through it and when we push through and when we overcome, we're able to share that story to others out there who are coming behind us. They need to know, okay, there is another way. I can do this. If she did it, I can do it. If he did it, I can do it. Greatness requires greater. We can't look at the views. We can't look at the stats because All of that is right now. All of that is right now. Faith is not about what we can see right now. It's about what's beyond the horizon. You may not have views right now or subscribers right now, but once someone finds you and you're the voice that they've been looking for, right? I'm not on here speaking about reality TV. I'm speaking about real life situations. I'm speaking about people getting laid off. I'm speaking about people having to challenge the status quo. I'm speaking about those that need to be inspired in the times of need. I'm speaking to people who need to find that energy and that motivation to push through. I am inspiring managers. This is my best friend, y'all calling me. I am out here inspiring employees in the workplace that there's more to it than that. Even if you're unhappy while you are looking for something else, learn where you are now. Get those letters of recommendation so that it can take you to another level. Learn more software. Learn more skills. Stay for the tuition reimbursement if you can. There may be someone, network. There are so many times that I've seen people in the corporate space that were able to go with people who are moving to different companies. So let's say there was a manager who was leaving that current company and they went to a different one. They would call up the people they worked with and bring them over. Get what you're supposed to get where you are. Greatness requires greater. We can't just get up and just leave when we get tired. We can't just get up and I know that there are instances where it's a non-negotiable. I get that. But every time it gets hard, we can't quit. Every time it gets hard, we can't stop. We can't cuss everybody out. We can't get angry. We have to find ways to move about it because guess what? When you stop and you try a different path, you're going to have the same roadblock. You know why? You didn't pass the test. You didn't pass the test. You have to pass the test in order to get to the testimony. There's no way around it. You keep having the same obstacle. At some point, you have to look at yourself. Okay, this may not be my fault, but let me dig down and see exactly how I could have prevented it. What could I have done? What did I not foresee? What did I see but avoided? It may not be your fault, but there's something in there that you could have seen coming, that you avoided, that you said, nah, that's not this. Or it's just something that you had to go through. We can't always think that we could have avoided something because sometimes we have to go through it. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. We have to go through it. For the entrepreneurs, you had a dream about creating something, about innovating, about pursuing this dream, this career, this invention, right? But you didn't realize how much time it was going to take away from your family. You didn't realize all the steps that were needed because it wasn't explained to you. You didn't realize you needed more finances than what you have. You didn't realize we'd be in a recession or funds will be tight where people can't donate to you. Your GoFundMes are not working. And you still have these monthly expenses. Your customers are not coming back to you. It's hard to find good help. Your employees are leaving, going somewhere else. But you still have to get product out. You still have to reach your goals, cover your expenses. Your credit cards are maxed out. You don't want to take out a loan on your home. You have to save face around the people who do have the funds and who you're networking with. Greatness requires greater. We have to get creative with it. Still legal. I'm not saying anything like that. But we have to get creative with it. Who can we pull in to help us? Who can we exchange services and products with? Who can we barter with? Who can we, share commercials with? Greatness requires greater. You still have to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. All of a sudden I hear the song, "Ain't no stopping us now." We have to keep going. Greatness requires greater. I know I missed some things. Let me go back and see what it is. Wearing many hats. Oh my gosh, how did I forget that? Wearing many hats. Definitely at the beginning, because at the beginning, you don't have the funds to hire out everything and to outsource everything. You have to be the receptionist. You have to be the website developer. You have to send out the emails. You have to go out and network. You have to go and open up the bank accounts. You got to be the bookkeeper and make sure you have your finances in line. You have to make the calls. You have to do the video editing. You have to get out here and market your services. You have to go and do deliveries, drop-offs, mail your packages. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Wearing many hats, the late nights, the learning. As you grow, there's no way to grow without learning. There's no way to grow without getting more of something. All of these businesses out here, these entrepreneurs, they have to grow to the next step. They have to hire to the next step. In order to hire, you got to make sure that they know what they're doing. The failures, mistakes, and lessons. You have to push through because they were unaccounted for. You didn't know that was a bad investment because you trusted that person. You didn't know that was bad advice or good advice, but bad advice for that season. Dang. Good advice, but bad advice for that season. You have to worry about your competitors. You have to worry about getting help, seeking assistance, but people not seeing your vision. They want to lead you this way, but you're like, I need to go this way. I understand that's a path, but I'm doing something different. I need your help to help me do something different. Let's just try. I was speaking to someone about helping me with a PowerPoint presentation. And she's a professional, great woman. Just met her, one time. We've been meeting online. And when you're a professional, you know how something's supposed to look. So when I requested something outside of that, she's like, that's going to look too busy. Everybody's going to be confused. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I totally agree. It threw me off as well. It threw me off. I wasn't ready for it. But if we do this strategically, it won't be busy. We can have transitions. We can have animations to where some things go away, some things are on there. I'm trying to get creative with it and show, okay, this is what I've seen and I want to recreate this. But with her professionalism and what she's been accustomed to, she's saying, no, these are the boundaries. But sometimes you have to step out of those boundaries. Don't be in a box. And I'm not saying she was wrong. She was lending me her advice for what she knows. But sometimes you have to step outside of that. And we ended up getting together, and it looks really good now. And I explained to her that I understood what she was saying, but this was something different, right? So being able to lead people to your vision is a challenge. And that was just a simple, illustration. That was a simple example. Another thing that I said in that interview with Dr. Chakeshascott, right after I said greatness requires greater, I said trailblazing requires fire. I'm a trailblazer. Are you a trailblazer? And in that moment I said, and this spoke to me again as well, I said trailblazing requires fire, but we have to stop thinking about fire as demolishing, diminishing, tearing down, burning away. That fire is transforming. Fire is transforming. So we have to stop moving away and avoiding the heat. You ever been at the campfire and it gets too hot so you want to back up? We can't always be afraid of the fire, because that fire is what molds us and what transforms us and makes us see something different, makes us become something different. Because when we become something different, our vision changes, our vision expands. We make room. We make room. Imagine being a vase, right? And then you get closer to the fire. And then all of a sudden, the top of the vase expands. It doesn't always have to melt, depending on how you move it in that heat. What are you doing in that heat? What are you doing? What are you learning? What are you positioning yourself for? What are you transitioning from? What are you burning off? Getting in the sauna, you're sweating off all the excess fat. It's transformation. It's transformation. I want you all to just stick with that and to let me know in the comments what you're transforming into. What are your goals? What are your obstacles? What are you transforming into? Are you a trailblazer? Greatness requires greater resistance, greater tolerance, greater strength. Are you getting up earlier? Are you having accountability calls? Are you having trouble staying on task? What are you doing? You know your challenges. You know the obstacles you're facing. What solution can you create, come up with, tag team with to resolve that? The sooner you address it and stop avoiding it and running from it, the sooner you can get closer to your goals. Trailblazing requires fire. Greatness demands greater. I am your host, Kim the SME. I hope you have enjoyed this message. I know I needed it, and as I'm speaking it to you, I am thinking about how I need to apply it to myself, as well as what I have already applied. You all be blessed until next time. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. If you have enjoyed this episode, tune into my previous episodes to get an encouraging word, inspiring word and relatable word, because we are going through this life together and we all need a little bit of inspiration. Until next time, you all, be blessed. Bye-bye.